Good day, fellas, and thank you for tuning in. This is T4 Madden Chalk Talk. And you are live with Burmese Star. Today, we are going to dig deeper into my personal Seattle offense. The two main pass plays will be the focus of this video. We are able to attack all parts of the field against every defense with setups from these two plays. Take a moment to sub and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Hit that thumb and drop a note after. Tell us what you think.
Alright guys, here we go. We're finally going to start breaking this thing down. So I'm going to start with the depth chart, of course. Now Ezekiel Elliott isn't the main back in this formation, but I do leave him as the starting back. What I actually do is I move Tony Pollard into the starting fullback position, and I put my best blocking tight end in the number 2 fullback position. Because when I go into the formation, I flick the stick to the right 3 times, and it gives me fullback, which actually puts fullback 1 as the halfback and fullback 2 as the fullback. So that's perfect. But now, the plays we're going to look at today are the two main plays. Bench, I call a ton, you can see, and wide receiver deep in, I call a lot as well. And I'm getting good yards with both of them. So, I'm going to go against random play, and we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping first. Now, I don't have a bunch of setups when I'm running my own offense. I do a lot of freestyling. So with bench, the most important thing are these deep outs, especially the one on the near side. The wide side I tend to leave as well, but the one on the near side is absolutely a must. I keep that in every time I call bench. And for wide receiver deep in, the same can be said about the apprentice post, that's the outside apprentice post, and the deep in from CD Lamb. Everything else, the other 3 receivers or the other 3 skill position players, their routes change depending on what I'm seeing from the defense. I'll show you some of the typical things I do in terms of motion first. So the tight end, I'll motion to either side of the line. I also do it in the run game, but I'll motion him to either side of the line if I'm running bench. And the halfback, I'll do the same thing, but he motions out wide. So you see we get this spread look. We motion him to the short side or the solo receiver side. And if we motion him to the 2 receiver side, we get a trips look. So those are typical things that I'm doing in terms of motion with those 2 players in that play. And I'll move Michael Gallup around a little bit here and there. Now I'll show you what. You see I'm actually motioning Michael Gallup over. I put the cursor on him, I move him over, move him back. I'm going to show you something else interesting about this formation real quick. See my cursor's on Pollard? If I flip play, it looks the exact same as if I motion Michael Gallup over. So what that means is that if I'm going to flip the play, I'm going to put the cursor on Michael Gallup first so that you don't know whether or not I flip the play or motion him over. So of course, now that he isn't motioned, that means I can still motion somebody. It looks like he was motioned, and you know you can't motion 2 guys, but you can see that he actually wasn't motioned, the play was flipped. So, like I said, a little bit of housekeeping just to show you guys some of the interesting things about the formation and some of the things I take advantage of. Now, typically, in bench, I might put Pollard on a slant, leave Gallup as he is. I might streak the 2 of them to press the seams a little bit. If I motion him over to the solo receiver side. If I motion him over to the 2 receiver side, the streak from Pollard and the drag from Gallup, that's what I'm really doing on the bench. Now I'll also move the tight end typically to the right, to the 2 receiver side on the line of scrimmage, and I'll put him on a drag if I'm putting him on a route, or I'll just let him block and I'll put Pollard on the wheel, and Gallup may stay on his route or he may be put on a slant. If I motion him to the left side, then I'm typically going to put him on a drag, and Gallup will stay on his route or go on a slant. And you'll probably see things in the gameplay that I'm not showing you here because, again, I freestyle a lot in my own offenses, right? Now, wide receiver deep in, a lot of times I motion him out, let him block, depending on how much protection you feel like you need. Slant and a wheel. That's a typical setup I'll use. Sometimes I'll motion the tight end to the right side, put him on a drag, and then have the drag and the slant. Sometimes I'll have the drag, the slant, and the wheel. Now, if I'm motioning Tony Pollard out and wide receiver deep in, some of the typical things that I'm doing, I will do 2 hitches, leave Gallup on that stock hitch. I like it. I might do 2 drags there as well. I do the 2 drags a lot. Or I will do the drag and the slant from this side as well. And again, you're going to see I do tons of other things because I tend to freestyle from this formation. So we'll just run a few against random and let you have a look at what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So if I'm seeing a man defense, I'll run either play because deep outs are back. Deep outs are killing it again in Madden, so they're beating man coverage, even man press. Now a cloud flat is the one thing I'm not gonna throw those deep outs against. That's the one thing that's gonna stop them. But against a cover two, I can get Tony Pollard for a touchdown right here with this setup. And to be honest, I get Tony Pollard for touchdowns versus a lot of defenses with this setup. Yeah, it works well against cover threes and cover three blitzes as well, depending on where that single high safety is coming from. So here, like I said, the deep out could work, but I got no problem, of course, taking a shot at Coop. Now, what I do, if I'm calling this play, is I'll look up top, I'll look at where the safeties are, and if I see nobody's rotating back there or the safeties are dropping back like it's a cover two or spreading like it's a cover four, then I'm going to be looking for Coop and looking down at the other routes as my secondary options. If I see a single safety rotating back like it's a cover one or a cover three, I'm going to come down to those lower options and then read my way back to the dig. Coop gets taken out of the equation. If you look back at this play, by the way, Coop actually would have been a good read. I threw that wheel out there and got it picked. I'm not editing this. There's no reason to. Just showing you guys my thought process and why I do some of the things I do. Throwing that wheel route made no sense. I'll throw the out route here. But yeah, so a lot of times I'm watching those safeties and then making my reads based on it. And with bench, of course, I'm reading the DBs right above those those offensive players that are on the deep outs. So in man coverage, leverage is important. So you see Coop broke to the outside. If your man breaks to the outside like that and you have outside leverage, then you're just going to lead him to the outside. I'm going to show you something very interesting about what deep outs are doing this year. Deep outs are glitchy this year. Like I don't like using that word, but they really are glitchy this year. Some of the things that they're able to do. Like I'm beating everything with them, other than like I said, clouds. But once you see clouds, you know what to do. So you see, I got these two drags, and this is an example. See, so I came down and read my drag because that single safety, the single high safety rotated back, and I wasn't going to be able to hit Coop. So I'm looking at the drags and I'm looking at the deep dig in that case. And a look like this, we could call either one of those two passing plays. It really doesn't matter. Oh, now if I'm gonna if I'm gonna put Cooper on that apprentice route, I want that deep dig along with it. So that was accidental. Sorry about that. And you're gonna see here, Coop actually gets carried. See that? I had nothing. So typically, I would actually just throw that one away. I wouldn't even try to pass that deep dig to CeeDee Lamb there. That's supposed to be intercepted. A user is going to click and pick that, right? A good user is going to click and pick that. So there, that's an easy one to your wide receiver. All right, so yeah, I want to show you a little bit with the man press because the leverage you're getting versus a man press is very important, and it actually changes the way you throw the ball. So I want to make sure you're prepared for that. So you see, Coop gets an obvious outside release, lead it hard to the outside, low ball possession catch. It's not difficult. Again, outside release, lead it hard to the outside, low ball possession catch. I want to see if I can get one. Okay, here, this looks different. Right, see, so now, if you actually pull your left stick down and lowball it, he almost runs what looks like a curl route. So when you don't get that outside leverage, he's still on a deep out. He's on a deep out. Watch this route that he runs. Look how he circles back. You see that? That's all about the pass lead. So you can actually do that. And if you take a look at this side, you'll see CeeDee Lamb isn't doing that. CeeDee Lamb is running an out route the way he's supposed to run it. And running it against Jair Alexander, you're not going to get much luck. So anyway, we'll hop in game real fast and let's have a look. So we look like we're going to stay in the deep outs, even though we're seeing that press because we're not afraid of it. And we're going with Pollard motioned out and a drag. And I absolutely love using these motions because when you start building up that run game, people have to respect that. And then you motion these guys out and you're spreading them out. And when they start seeing the bombs that you're hitting, because like you can see, I mean, I'm averaging 12 yards and 20 yards and all those sorts of things on these passes. I mean, this isn't a dink and dunk offense. So it makes it very difficult. for people when they have to try to decide what it is they're going to defend and how they're going to defend it. And you see, this is going to be Tony Pollard 2 times in a row. And it's not cover 2, like I said. I'm getting this against cover 3 blitzes. It really depends. So if you watch the safeties above Pollard, you'll see quickly if they're rotating above him or they're rotating away from him. And once you see that, you know what to do with it. Out route. Now, the out route is the route that I make people respect. I'm going to hammer that until you put a cloud over there. I have people that jump over there and try to user it. And if you're going to be over here trying to use an out route on this side of the field, I'll play over here all the rest of my routes, and I can beat the AI. I promise you. So there you go. We got Coop over the top this time. Oh, I could have actually thrown that slant. Oh, yeah. Okay, his DB motion down. Oh, we cap a run play in there. That's okay. That was accidental, but you guys know that run play is pretty decent, so I don't mind it. Let's see. I think here I'm doing wide receiver deep in. The drag. Yeah, drag on the slant. And I think Coop got taken away here, so I'm going to hit the slant. Yeah, absolutely. Zeke's in the backfield. Oh, you see that deep out to Coop? 2nd and 24. Man, you got to love deep outs. You got to love deep outs, man. And Coop has the deep out elite, so yeah, that's not too fair, is it? But, you know, if you got it, take advantage of it. So we're going to go ahead and run with wide receiver deep in. Even though there's a single high safety, I usually wouldn't call that. But maybe he'll show me a different look before I started to call it. But that's okay. I got no problem setting up some routes underneath and trying to hit one of them. There's a deep dig. Yeah, that's nice. Had a little bit of time there. Let's see what we got cooking here. This isn't going to be deep outs. That's for sure. Yeah, we're doing that. We're doing the same setup with the drag and the slant. Oh, and the wheel. We're putting everybody out there. That's a touchdown. That's a beautiful, beautiful touchdown to Coop. See, so you see these 2 plays. I'm going to show you the supporting passing plays in a minute, but these are the main 2 pass plays that I'm using. And with these 2 and that run, I mean, you're setting guys up for a hard time because you can run these 2 pass plays alone all game, and you'll always have an answer against every defense. So then we're just mixing the other things in to give our opponents different looks. There you go. That's another one. He's going to get... Oh, we scored there too. I didn't even think it was going to be a touchdown. That's a good run after catch. And I think we're going to go over the top one more time here. That's EBR. 13 inches. See, now we got that good run play. Look how many guys he got in the box. Because we got this good run play. And he's even over here trying to shoot the gap, thinking we're going to run it. So we just go ahead and take a touchdown over the top. I'll be back with another one soon, fellas. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks for rocking with the squad. Remember, real life comes first, but when you do pick up the sticks, give 'em hell.